Stop accepting burnout as the price of your creativity. Every month you delay confronting it, that exhaustion makes you accept projects that chip away at your soul and your savings. By year's end, this becomes a 5-figure mistake, with over $10,000 left on the table. 95% of creatives make this mistake. Today I'll show you how to stop the financial bleed and reclaim not just your income but your passion. Before we dive in, I want to be crystal clear. I'm a financial educator, not a licensed financial advisor. The ideas we talk about here are for educational purposes, to help you build awareness and ask better questions. This isn't personalized financial advice, so please always consult with a qualified professional for your unique situation. Okay, let's get into it. At the heart of this financial drain is a conflict we rarely speak about. We've been taught to build a wall between our art and our business. On one side is the sacred space, the studio, the laptop, the canvas, where pure creation happens. This is our identity. On the other side is the profane world of invoices, contracts, and negotiations. We see it as a necessary evil, a distraction that taints the purity of the craft. This mindset creates a deep-seated guilt around money. Because we find so much joy and meaning in the creative act itself, we feel almost ashamed to ask for fair compensation. It feels like charging someone for breathing. So we flinch during pricing conversations. We add "just" before our rate, as in, it's just $2,000. We let clients expand the scope without expanding the budget, because we're more comfortable giving away our time than having an awkward conversation about its value. Each time we do this, we reinforce the belief that our passion is the reward, and the money is just a bonus. This is the subtle psychological trap that leads directly to burnout. We over-deliver and undercharge until we're exhausted, resentful, and broke, wondering why our passion now feels like a burden. But what if the greatest artists and artisans throughout history didn't see this division at all? What if they understood a timeless principle about the value of their craft that we've forgotten? That principle is the timeless time law of value exchange. And it's not a cold corporate concept, it's an organic, deeply human one. It states that for any relationship to be sustainable, whether personal or professional, the value given must be met with value received. It's about balance and mutual respect. Money, in this context, isn't a dirty word. It's simply the modern language we use to communicate that respect and acknowledge the value of a transformation. Think of the master woodworker from a century ago. When a client commissioned a chair, they weren't just buying wood and labor. They were buying the woodworker's years of discipline, her unique eye for grain and form, and the generations of knowledge passed down to her. They were buying a piece of furniture that would bring comfort and beauty to their home for a lifetime. The payment she received wasn't a reluctant bonus for her passion. It was the essential energy that allowed her to buy more wood, maintain her tools, feed her family, and dedicate her life to perfecting her craft. The exchange sustained her art. Without it, the workshop would close and her skill would be lost. This is the mindset we've lost. We've been conditioned to see our work through the narrow lens of what it costs us, our time, our software subscriptions, our materials. We don't price based on the immense value it creates for our clients. A well-designed brand identity isn't just a logo, it's the foundation for $1 million business. A powerful photograph isn't just a file, it's the key to a nonprofit securing a game-changing grant. A compelling script isn't just dialogue, it's the heart of a film that moves thousands. When we undercharge, we break this fundamental law. We create an imbalance where we pour immense value out and receive a trickle in return. This deficit is the source of our burnout. It's not a failure of passion, it's a failure of the system we've built around our passion. We're trying to run a creative engine on fumes. I know this can still feel a little abstract. So to make this principle truly tangible, let's look at it through an analogy from a world we all understand intimately as creators. Think about the principle of compositional balance in visual art. As a creator, you know that a masterpiece isn't just about a brilliant subject, it's about the relationship between all the elements. A heavy, dark form in one corner requires a counterpoint, an area of light, a splash of color, or even intentional empty space to create harmony. Without this balance, the entire piece feels unstable, unsettling, and incomplete. It collapses under its own visual weight. Our creative business is a composition. The immense value you deliver to your client, the strategy, the skill, the final product, is that heavy, powerful element. It commands attention, but for the composition to be sustainable, it requires a counterweight. That counterweight is your compensation, your boundaries, and your well-being. It is the essential energy that brings the entire picture into harmony. When you undercharge, you are creating a profoundly unbalanced composition. You're placing all the weight on the client's side of the canvas and leaving your own side empty. You're crafting a career that feels unstable and unsettling because, fundamentally, it is. The burnout you feel is the artistic intuition in your soul screaming that the composition is wrong. So if we would never consciously create an unbalanced painting, how do we begin to apply that same non-negotiable principle of harmony to the structure of our own lives? It begins by consciously changing the title we give ourselves. We have to evolve from the passive identity of an artist and step into the active role of a creative professional. The word artist, for many of us, carries the romantic but destructive baggage of the starving genius myth. Someone who creates from a place of pure passion and simply hopes the world will one day recognize their value. A creative professional, on the other hand, is the architect of their own sustainability. They understand that the business side isn't a corruption of the art. It is the very framework that protects the art and allows it to flourish over a lifetime. It's the strong foundation that supports the studio, the sturdy canvas that holds the paint. This shift isn't about selling out. It's about buying into your own longevity and the profound value of your work. A professional doesn't apologize for their rates. They confidently articulate the transformation they provide. They don't just hope for good clients. They build the systems that attract them. They are the one who intentionally balances the composition of their career. The internal shift is this. Stop being a passive participant in the myth that you must sacrifice your well-being for your art. Start being the active designer of a business that honors and sustains your creativity. So let's bring all these pieces together. Let's outline the blueprint you can use to start rebuilding that balance in your own creative life, starting today. So the blueprint is this. Your business isn't the enemy of your art. It's the very frame that holds it. It's about consciously applying the principle of balance, ensuring the value you pour out is met with the energy you receive. This is the essential shift from a passive artist hoping for recognition to an active creative professional who designs their own sustainable practice. This isn't about becoming less of an artist. It's about building a foundation that allows you to be one for a lifetime. I'd love to hear your thoughts. In the comments below, tell me, what is one small tangible step you can take this week to bring more balance into your own creative composition? Your answer might be the spark someone else needs. And if you're ready to build a career that truly sustains your passion, make sure you subscribe. We're building this blueprint together.